Have you guys been following like this Chat GPT and like AI stuff?
I keep seeing it pop up, but I don't know a ton about it. It's part of OpenAI, right?
Yeah, so it's this thing where like, I mean, you can do all sorts of things. I haven't actually played around with that. I've just like read articles and stuff about it and watched videos on it. But like, people can say, "Oh, write me a 10-page paper about the history of Australia," and like it'll like do it, and like it'll actually read like pretty well and stuff. Or you can do like, um, write me a opening monologue for a late show, but in the voice of like Donald Trump or something. And like you get varying degrees. Like some people say like, oh, some it's not perfect. It's, sometimes but it's good. Like it does a pretty decent job a lot of the time. And so like people are kind of worried about like kids like using this to cheat in class because like stuff like that, and plagiarism, and just like, or just like people using it to cut out writers
Yeah.
of various things because like and it's still in its infancy, so it's only going to get better. But like you should watch some of this stuff because like some of it's pretty impressive, and they even like it can like give you rudimentary like programming code too. Like I saw one was like, make me a code for like a banana like bouncing around in a box or something, and like it did it.
Yeah.
And like some people say, oh, we had to like finesse the code it gave but what I'm saying is like it's already doing impressive shit, and like it's only going to get better and better. And so like it's interesting.
I mean, like they call it singularity of when AI actually emerges, but it's really hard to tell what's going to be left and what's going to disappear in the future here. It's
Well, and that's another thing I was wondering about as far as even like, I think of my day job where I do like kind of this like accounting type work, and like there's not a program that exists right now that can do my job, but it's one of those things where I'm like, they're 100% one day will be.
right.
And I'm also thinking just time wise, like I got like what 26 years or so before I'm full retirement age. Like I don't know how long it's going to take before that program exists, but I'm guessing not 26 years.
Probably less than 10.
And even
Probably somebody could make it today if they applied themselves.
even like your guys' jobs, like you do deliveries, like they continue to work on self-driving cars.
Mm-hmm.
They continue to look at possibly drone deliveries. So like eventually I think those jobs are going to dry up, and even
Probably all driving, yeah.
even like security jobs like yours, like it does seem a little Orwellian to have like security droids, but like that's probably going to happen too.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of jobs are about to get phased out. I just don't know what the plan is for what happens after that.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going to happen at all.
I mean, because like in the past there's been times where like, oh, a new technology came along and got rid of certain jobs, but then that technology in and of itself like created a lot of more jobs. But like that's not always going to happen, and I think AI might be the tipping point where that doesn't happen. I don't know.
I was really thinking probably like, some of the more advanced stuff like engineering and stuff would last for a while, programming. But I also thought like the creative stuff was probably going to be last on the list. And there's already like AI that's won art competitions and stuff. And I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting. I was expecting that was going to be like one of the last thresholds,
Man, I saw this video on Twitter today where it shows like this actress delivering this line where she says the F word, and then the AI paves over her and changes the F word to frickin', but it also like changes her mouth and it like simulates her voice to where like it's basically seamless, where you would have thought she delivered the line that way. And then it goes one step further and it takes her voice and does her same line in other languages, Japanese and Spanish, and it also changes her mouth. Where, like on those ones, you can still kind of like tell
Right.
that it doesn't quite match up, but like it's close,
It's in the neighborhood.
and you can definitely see that in a couple years they could get it to where it's seamless, and it's like holy cow, that's crazy.
Yeah, we won't be able to believe our eyes anymore.
Oh yeah, I know. That's the other thing is you think of these people that for political reasons and stuff try to put out misinformation. Just think of they got these
Yeah.
tools now that they're going to be able to do it like
They can make videos of like Joe Biden banging a bunch of dudes or something.
I mean something that blatant they
I know, but I mean,
But-
like they could make something that looks
right or just do things that are more subtle,
Mhm.
you know, and even with the Chat GPT thing, like create a post that disparages this person and makes it seem like it's written by this person.
Oh, okay.
I could see somebody doing that and
Mhm.
just to create like
Chaos.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like there was a story too, like I'm forgetting the details. There was a parody account that made up like some story, and then some news outlet, maybe like Fox News or someone, actually picked it up like it was a real thing, and it caused all this outrage, and then it ended up being over something that wasn't even true, you know?
Yeah, that happened with sports also. Like, yeah, that's happening a lot where they're picking up like some random bullshit information and running with it.
I read a book once, and gosh, I'm forgetting what it's called. Trust me, I'm lying. I think Ryan Holiday, but he goes into like if you want to manipulate the media, basically he would say he would see the story with like like small blogs, because a lot of times what would happen is like major news outlets would watch the small blogs and then like kind of like steal their stories, and so like he would just seed stuff with these blogs, and sometimes he said he'd just send them a story and they'd publish it as their own or whatever, and then it'd get picked up by the bigger news outlets. I was like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently it's doable.
It's because like the big media channels like are not good at their jobs
Yeah.
anymore.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of demand if you're trying to put out something like 24 hours a day bullshit. And you're just
Yeah.
like, I'll just take whatever I can find, and who gives a shit if it's true or not.
Always looking for content.
That's true. If the news never became a 24/7 channel and it was just like an hour a day, your news, like it probably would be a lot better
Yeah.
because they'd actually have to distill down the important stuff.
Well, that's the thing too. And like, I remember our grandparents they just watch it 24 hours a day. And you're like,
I know.
you're not gaining anything. They repeat the same stories like every 30 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
you're not getting anything out of this.
That's literally like all our grandparents watched were like soap operas and the news.
Yeah. And I don't know which was worse.
Maybe The Price is Right every once in a while.
Hey, let's not talk about the prices right.
Man, that show is still going. Drew Carey.
Yeah, Drew picked it up, huh?
Yeah.